September 28th, 1941. The much-feared Guderian's thrust against Tula this week failed to materialize, and by now it is clear to the Soviet High Command that the Germans really enjoy taking 1 week of rest and recovery after every major offensive operation. But the lack of any offensive from the German side does not mean that Moscow and the troops west of it can let their guards down. And I'm saying this because this week the good weather returns over the battlefield. And with the Soviet intelligence identifying clusters of enemy units in the region of the front facing the Soviet troops of the Western Front, it is only a matter of guessing where the enemy big blow will strike next week. Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new weekly episode of War in the East 2 with the online game challenge. And this week I actually have many good news, and this is why this will be a combined episode. First of all, let's start from the battles. This week the Germans did not really push that hard, I would say. The only major engagement worth noting is the Battle of Kharkiv, which of course ended up in a Soviet defeat, as my two cavalry divisions stationed there were forced to retreat, and in the second engagement the 61st was even routed, this one here, while the 66th just retreated here in this X. The Germans seems to be, let's say, potentially losing steam concerning their offensive capabilities. The other good news is that when I looked at the turn summary, I was really surprised to see this amount of men received on the map. And okay, only these losses, almost 60,000 losses, but almost 129,000 men received on the map, and 117,000 in the Soviet theater boxes. And the Axis lost above 80,000 men overall. And let's say, when I was looking at this amount of men I received in the theater boxes, I did learn something new when I looked at here at this one here, and when I looked at the turn 15 from 15 to 15, and I look in the Soviet reserves, I got 115,000 men. So, you know, every turn I'm learning something new about how to interpret those numbers and actually where to find the sorry, the sources of these numbers. And so yeah, anyway, besides this, events-wise, we have the Axis success in the Balkans, partisans, the first liberty ships, and the birth of the 71st and 72nd armies. Now, this is a mutually exclusive event that had a 50% chance of happening. It's mutually exclusive with another event that would have removed from the map the southern, I think it's called, wait, let's have a look at here. Where was it? The Southern Operational Group Army and the Coastal Operational Group Army from the map, while I pre-scripted these units to be renamed on turn 15 in the 71st and 72nd armies respectively. Just because, for the sake of role-playing, I didn't like to have non-numbered armies, and because the historically existed highest number for the Soviet armies was 70th, I said, okay, why not? Let's just rename them 71st and 72nd. So nothing fancy, nothing too crazy, just some role-playing in action. And I would say, besides that, I noticed some German movement. Here, my opponent redeployed the 7th Flieger Division here, and yeah, somehow he's still regimenting his units here. And yeah, the bad news, I would say, for this turn, sorry, the last good news is that many units that were routed last week have now recovered, and the let's say the feared German offensive towards Tula did not materialize, at least this week. The bad news is the weather, because if I look at the weather now, it's completely sunny. There is high pressure, very good weather in the air and on the ground, and this is totally unexpected. I was expecting some rain, even light rain, to create some light mud here and there to enhance, to slow down the Axis advance. But no. And so I fear that next turn my opponent will go on the offensive. And when I saw the weather report, I was like, things are not looking good for me. And so I launched some air recon missions, especially over here. And I was really shocked to see these stack of units. 2 in Gzhatsk, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, and 2 here. Here I also see the 36th Motorized and the 8th Panzer Division. And here I have a motorized division, and here I have a unit, I guess it's an infantry division, and here I have the 13th motorized division and the 11th fortified zone, which suggests that my opponent might be getting ready for winter, for what's coming this winter. Although he might push towards Moscow from this direction here. From here, assuming that he has infantry, panzers, and motorized infantry, he could even swing north to link up with the 20th motorized, the 14th motorized, and I don't know where are. If he has more panzer, more motorized things over here, so he could create a pocket over here, or he could march eastwards towards this plain area. He could march, say northeastwards, eastwards towards Tula. He could create a pocket around Kaluga. So I need to reinforce, I would say, everything stretching from Kalinin down south to Kaluga with all what I have. Ideally, I think I will build like a second layer of infantry units behind the main front line here, just because I really don't like this massing of troops, and I need to hold out until the Rasputitsa. So next week it could be the last Axis offensive, and yeah, I don't want to be caught unprepared, and this is why this week I will reorganize my armies. I will launch some let's say some counterattacks here, because I see that he only has some regiments over here, especially this one here, and why not. I also would like to relieve my cavalry divisions, and for sure over here I will abandon this line here and I will pull back behind these 3 hexes, swamp, rough, and swamp, because it's they provide a higher defensive value over the light woods over here. And I would say that's all for this turn. I was also planning, yeah, before I leave, I'm also planning to regroup together the rifle divisions that will be merged into historical rifle corps in 1942. But I think I have time for that. I don't want to rush this process now. And I am thinking of bringing from the reserves as well as many reinforcements as possible, just because I'm afraid of what's coming next week. So that's the strategy. Enough talking now. It's time to jump straight, as always, into the episode. Howdy, folks! So, I wanted to spend a few words of appreciation towards my opponent. Now, I don't know who said that you should not fight the same enemy for too long, or he will teach you, or he will learn all his art of war. And I would say that there is nothing more true than this statement here. Even, especially against a human player. While I understand the challenges of playing against the AI, challenges and or limitations, against a human player, like the more you fight him and the more you really you can see through the lenses, so to speak, and I'm really seeing a specific modus operandi of my opponent. Like, he loves to attack, to surround, destroy, annihilate, and then one turn of rest and recovery. And I would even assume railway repairs. Because, yeah, this is what I believe is going on behind the enemy lines. On the other hand, the fun thing of facing a human opponent is that you cannot really anticipate his next move. Like, I'm seeing here this stack of units, but are they units in reserve? Are the units attached to assault armies? Are they recovering CVPs, supplies, fuel? Are those mechanized, I mean, motorized units? I really don't know. And the fact that I have this like bulge of the 14th and the 20th motorized division around Kalinin, this huge stack around Kaluga, and then the 13th motorized division, as well as the fortified regiment, the fortified zone in the same hex of the 13th motorized division, is really confusing me. Like, I don't know what to expect. Is this like a what the Soviets were calling the maskirovka, the camouflage to mask your real intentions? Or yeah, is this like just a psyop? Is he deliberately confusing me on his next goals? I don't know, and I think this is what really makes this game literally a ton of fun. What is less fun, however, is to not to have enough troops to defend Moscow with, because if next week this cluster of units around Kaluga erupts like a volcano, I think the only thing that could stop them would be the terrain, the swampy and forested terrain around Moscow. I mean, west and southwest of Moscow. I really don't know. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what will happen. For sure, I was a bit disappointed and pissed in seeing that the weather next week will be. Yeah, will be good, because good weather means that maybe more Luftwaffe air groups can join the battle, even though I haven't seen the Luftwaffe in action for quite some time. But it means that he will have less penalty in terms of movement points for his motorized units, and as well as for the infantry. So, I don't know. Also, I would say my mistake here was maybe not to attack his regimented units. I'm too afraid of burning the precious stocks of ammunition, as well as supplies. And yeah, I prefer to stay on the defensive until maybe until winter. But for now, there is no way that I'm doing a counterattack like the counterattacks I've launched in July. I think it was mid-July or late July, to reopen the Roslav pocket. And yeah, so I would say that's all already for me. Well, folks, as always, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. I hope you will stay with me until the end of this campaign, because I know that this week the Axis campaign finished, but this one, I don't think it will finish anytime soon. So, yeah, stay tuned, and as always, I'll see you all again next week.
Небе солнце улыбается, разогнав туман седой. Ведь солдатский начинается вместе с горькой молодой. священ нашим знамени, отблеск славы боевой. Мы горды высоким званием, срочной службы рядовой. Не закрой, небо ясное, черных крыльев злая день. Добрый день, страна прекрасная, добрый день, добрый день. Добрый день, страна прекрасная, добрый день, добрый день. Мы уходим на учения, служба ратная идет. Новый день, как наступление, песня звонкая зовет. Насвящен нашим знаменем, отблеск славы боевой. Мы горды высоким званием, срочной службы рядовой. Не закроет небо ясное, черных крыльев злая день. Добрый день, страна прекрасная, добрый день, добрый день. Добрый день, страна прекрасная, добрый день, добрый день. Наша служба, школа мужества, нашей дружбы крепче нет. Хорошо солдату служится, если он письмом согрет. На священном нашем знамени отблеск славы боевой. Мы горды высоким званием, прочной службы рядовой. Не закрой, небо ясное, черных крыльев злая день. Добрый день, страна прекрасная, добрый день, добрый день. Добрый день, страна прекрасная, добрый день, добрый день. На Маркуте доверена, спокойнее семьи. Шаг Маркуте, шаг уверенный, у защитников страны. Насвящен нашим знамени, отблеск славы боевой. Мы горды высоким званием, прочной службы рядовой. Не закроет небо ясное, черных крыльев злая день. Добрый день, страна прекрасная, добрый день, добрый день. Добрый день, страна прекрасная, добрый день, добрый день. Насвящен нашим знаменем, отблеск славы боевой. Мы горды высоким званием, срочной службы рядовой. Не закрой небо ясное, черных крыльев злая день. Добрый день, страна прекрасная. После сабли лет, песнею веселою, с острыми крепами маленьких конях. Движутся кубанцы, казаки, гвардейцы, чтоб с врагом расправиться в доблестных боях. Движутся кубанцы, казаки, гвардейцы, свой путь отметили, били мы фашистов, ямы будем бить. Пушками, гранатами, миной, автоматами, резать пулеметами, ликвидком рубить. Пушками, гранатами, миной, автоматами, резать пулеметами, ликвидком рубить. Эй, кубанцы, рубить гвардейцы, грозить фашистов подлых, пощады не давай.
На победу славную, на защиту Родины, господин новатор, любимый генерал.
Победу славную, на защиту Родины, господин любимый генерал, все летит с озаренного месяца слов.